Hi, Haytham. I'm glad to hear you're well, Heba. That's fantastic.
Hello,
This is
Mr.
going to be
Mohammed.
fun. Hey, Haytham, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. How are you doing?
It's nice to see you. It really is.
I'm getting old.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Happens to everybody.
Sorry for being late. I had technical issue.
No, you're not late, actually. You're not. You're just on time. We're going to get started. Thinking maybe we'll wait another minute or two because I know that people get to these things a bit late. They sign in at exactly the time, but it takes time to sign in. So let's wait a couple of minutes. Hi, Christiane. Okay. I don't want to keep you guys waiting because um, it's time to start, and we're going to begin. Um, so welcome everybody to the webinar. This webinar is on the CELTA and its impact on your career. And we're very lucky to have with us this evening a couple of guests, a couple of blasts from the past, Haytham and Heba, both of whom took the online course with us at different points in the past. And they're going to be talking a little bit about their experience with us. Right now, though, I'm going to get started with the actual presentation. Um, Before that, I would like to explain the format or basically what's going to be going on. Give me 1 second. Wissal, nice to see you, Wissal. Okay, great. Okay, so first of all, everybody please mute your microphones, unless if you want to take the floor. You're welcome to at any point. I don't mind being interrupted. It's a part of life. We're here tonight to talk about the CELTA and its impact on your career. Now, people take the CELTA course for a lot of different reasons, but perhaps the most common reason is because they want to develop their career. They want some professional development that will have an impact on what they do for a living, what they do as English teachers. And that's whether you're just starting out as an English teacher or if you're an experienced English teacher. First of all, why the CELTA? Well, the CELTA is the premier certificate for English language teaching worldwide. Um, as you can see, the majority of countries in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, their job adverts for English teachers require or ask for a CELTA. 88% of jobs that require an ELT qualification, the qualification they ask for by name is CELTA. It's not an accident. The CELTA is a good course. It's an excellent course. It's intense. It teaches you how to teach, and employers recognize that. You recognize that with the CELTA, you have 120 hours of a 120-hour course, which is accredited by Ofqual. For those of you who don't know, Ofqual is the UK exams regulator. It's regulated at level 5. Level 5 is the equivalent of a bachelor's degree. The CELTA provides you with essential subject knowledge in teaching English as a foreign language. I'll be honest, it provides you with too much subject knowledge. Those of you who've taken the course know it's kind of overwhelming how much you're expected to take in. It's a lot. We teach you a lot of stuff, including a wide variety of different practical skills for teaching English as a foreign language to adult learners. It also teaches you what it takes to begin working on a wide range of different teaching contexts. So when we talk about teaching contexts, what we mean is different types of people you teach to. Young learners, business professionals, exam classes. When you take the CELTA, you start to develop the ability to adapt your lessons to these different types of contexts. And finally, hands-on experience with real students. In other words, you teach real students on the CELTA course. Your trainers watch you teach. We help you by showing you what you could have done better, and also telling you what you did fine and well and how to continue to improve. Finally, the CELTA is worldwide. There is not a continent on the world that does not accept the CELTA course as a qualification in teaching English as a foreign language and as the premier qualification. You've heard the phrase travel and teach. That's what Cambridge is. It's your ability to teach and travel and teach worldwide. Even in North America, where the CELTA, when I first became a CELTA trainer, the CELTA was just beginning to pick up steam in the United States. It's widely required even in the United States, and it's a British certificate. It's essential in the Middle East. I think Haythem will tell us a little bit more about that. It's very important to have a CELTA worldwide. So when it comes to CELTA, and I'm going to give the floor to our graduates in just a minute, but first I'm going to give you a little bit more information about the course itself. The course comes in 3 different formats. That's been the case for the past 4 years. Before that, just face-to-face and a little bit of online, but not much. The CELTA course is face-to-face. Hello, Sophia. Nice to see you. It's face-to-face, mixed mode, and online. The online course we run extensively, part-time. It's designed for people who are working while taking the course. It's still intense. It's still a lot of work, but it's doable whether you're studying or working full-time. The synchronous sessions on the online course are either on the weekend or in the evenings. Again, designed for you to be able to go on with your lives to a certain extent while taking the CELTA course. Then there's the mixed mode course, which is 10 weeks long with online sessions on the weekend or in the evenings, plus 2 intensive face-to-face weeks of sessions at the end of the course. And finally, there's the face-to-face CELTA course. This is the quote-unquote classic course. It's intensive. We run it twice a year in the summer. In July, it will take place in Casablanca. In August, it will take place in McNass. And it's a killer. It's a great course. You have to be prepared mentally and physically to take this course in particular. Which of these 3 options should you choose? I'd love to answer any of your questions about that, but to give you an overview, it really depends on your own personal circumstances. What you have to know is that the certificate itself is exactly the same, whether you take it online, mixed mode, or face-to-face. There's no difference. The certificate looks exactly the same. It has your name, your grade, the dates of the course, and the center number. The content is the same. The assessment criteria are exactly the same. So when your trainers train you, we have in our little heads a list of about 30 to 40 assessment criteria that we are ticking off while we watch you teach. When we watch you teach online, these criteria are exactly the same as when we watch you teach face-to-face. So what the quality of teaching we want and are expecting of our candidates does not change. When choosing which course to take, you should consider the price. So the price of the different courses is different. The level of challenge If you take an intensive course, you should be prepared to work very, very, very hard. If you take an extensive course, just very, very hard. I mean, you don't have to work hard anyway. Perhaps the most important thing is a timetable. So your schedule has a very, very, very big impact on which course will suit you. The mode is important. So online. So imagine, you know that you will never teach online in your life, ever. Don't take the online course. That said, it's quite unlikely that you will never teach online. Given the way the world is changing, you will probably have to teach online at some point. And finally, the certification, like I said, is exactly the same. So that's the end of my presentation. The presentation. And here we go. Our former candidates are here to share and answer your questions. Okay, so we've got Haythem here and Heba, who are former candidates of ours. We'll start by letting you guys ask questions of me, of Haythem, or of Heba. Now, I'm going to introduce Heba and Haythem very quickly, so you have a little bit of background as to what kind of questions you can ask them. Haythem is not in Morocco, and he's not even Moroccan, which is surprising, right? All right, no, he's not Moroccan. He's in some country in the Middle East. Which country is it, Haythem?
Yes, Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia, the big one.
Yeah.
When I worked there, they still call it the Magic Kingdom, right? That's what they call it, the Magic Kingdom. Yeah.
Yes, sometimes.
And Heba is with us as well. Heba, after taking the course, started her own online teaching business. Heba, welcome to you as well.
Thank you.
Me. Great. And I am the director. Sophia, hi.
Yes.
Tell us about yourself too.
How are you doing?
Good.
Cool. Yeah, can I ask a question?
You can.
Yes, thank you. You told us about the online courses. Yeah, you mentioned that taking the online courses is not the best of the ideas. Why exactly?
Oh my God, I think you only heard the first part of my sentence.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
It's not the best idea if you are never planning to teach online in your life.
Okay.
And we know that in reality, that's not going to happen. If you're an English teacher, you will teach online. It's bound to happen.
Yes.
And it's going to happen more and more often.
Yes.
As time goes on.
Yes. Surely I did. So yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So no, I mean, I would never say the online course is not worth taking. Haythem and Heba can both testify to the fact that it is a worthwhile course.
Yeah, depending on the circumstances, for sure. I mean,
yeah, it depends on your availability.
Okay.
Go ahead, Haythem. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, I took the online course because it was the only choice I had because I'm working and I don't have enough time. So that was the only option to take CELTA, and it was quite fruitful. It was stressful. Yeah, it was stressful. You have to be prepared mentally and physically, especially mentally. Okay.
Yes.
Because as I told you, it was crazy. It was challenging. You have to stay away from all distractions. And yeah, it was worth it. And it opened up doors for several positions, especially in Middle East, because employers require or ask for CELTA, especially CELTA. And after I finished the course, I was promoted, or I got promoted in my school, and I'm now the head of English department. I'm running our a team of 8 English teachers. Yeah, that was because of CELTA.
So Haythem, tell me a little bit about that, please. I mean, what was the process? You finished the course, your employer knew that you finished the course. Did you apply for the job? Did they say you have the CELTA now, you can How it
No,
happened?
the supervisors, my supervisors visited me several times, and they were impressed by my lesson plans and the way I move from one stage to another. And after I finish, or after they finish their observation, we started a conversation about why they do this and why they do that, and gave them explanation why I'm doing this. And I gave them, a theoretical and practical answer why I'm doing this, and were convinced and were impressed by this. And they knew I took the CELTA course. And that's
So,
it.
I mean, it's really interesting. So what happened was you were implementing what you learned on the CELTA
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
spontaneously,
exactly.
and
Yeah,
your
exactly.
supervisors observing you, they noticed
Yeah.
this, and they
Yeah, I noticed
suggested
the
the
difference.
promotion.
Yes, exactly. That's what happened.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm now looking for better
Better opportunities still in the Middle
opportunities.
East, right?
And I'm not satisfied yet.
Where are you from, Haytham,
Yeah,
originally?
exactly.
Are you
I'm looking
Saudi
for
originally?
Tunisia. No, Tunisia.
Right. So, kind of our neighbor, kind of
Oh, okay.
one
So
country.
Tunisian,
Yeah.
and now he's working at.
Not too
Okay,
far.
okay. So your main goal was to literally like travel around.
No, Sophia. Haytham was already in Saudi Arabia when he took
No,
the course.
Okay. I'm so sorry because the connection is a little bit.
It's okay.
Okay.
There is a black square blocking the
and the
screen,
reason
says Heba. Is that for everyone? Does everyone have a black square blocking their screen?
Right. Yes.
Yes, when you were sharing your screen, not now.
Exactly. Yeah.
There was a black square.
Yes. A black square. Yes. Same for me. Same
That's
for
very
me.
embarrassing. Sorry about that, guys. That's never happened before.
That's okay. That's okay. Technical problems occur.
Okay. All right. Heba, do you want to tell us a little bit about your experience post-CELTA?
Yes, sure. I just want to add something concerning the CELTA mode that is online. Yes, it's kind of like it sounds very weird to teach online and it's frustrating sometimes, but once you get the right tools and you understand what's going on the internet, like there are many apps and many new softwares that can help you teach as you are in a real classroom, like face to face. And it's more fun also because you can play with different softwares, try new things. And actually, it was really good to take the CELTA online because we've learned like so many things, how to teach online and face to face, how to adapt your activities and materials to both online and face to face. And concerning my experience, I took the CELTA back in 2023, in June, and it was like a game changer for me. Because a long time ago, I used to teach face to face, but I didn't know how to plan my lessons correctly, how to use the right materials, and also the types of students, like types of learners, how to adjust that to and to adapt it to my teaching. But after the CELTA, I've learned a lot of things. I've learned also how to teach a multicultural classroom. Specifically, the online allows that. So you have students from all over the world here in English for Africa. You can teach them, and you understand the cross-cultural communication and how you feel confident delivering a lesson, and everyone could understand it. And yes, so I after that I decided to launch my business because I love teaching online, and I love how everyone from all over the world are in the same place, the same goal. So I start my business teaching online. It was like very uh, how can I describe it? It's very challenging because like there are like a lot of new schools that are based online, like they don't have a local or something like that. So now everyone can start a business using Instagram and social media, and you have to be special to gain more clients. And the CELTA was the key here, because the techniques that you learn here are not the same as in all other schools. You learn how to have an engaged classroom, how to have fun while learning. So that was the key for my success, and it's thanks to English for Africa. Yes.
That's really sweet, Heba. Thank you. Look, yeah, it really is sweet. And I want to just second some of the things that Heba was saying. First of all, about the multicultural and international context of taking the CELTA online. We have students learning from our candidates. So the candidates are you guys who take the course to become teachers. The students are the people you teach online during your teaching practice that we watch and assess. Our students, currently, we've got students from Morocco, of course, Colombia, Afghanistan.
From China,
China,
also.
yes, also. So really worldwide. We've had students from Europe and North America on occasion as well. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is that there's no magic solution for success. You acquire skills and then you go out onto the market and you compete. And I think that one of the things Heba was getting at was that you get those skills with the CELTA course. You can be different from teachers who don't know exactly what they're doing, because we teach you exactly how to plan a lesson, how to set your lesson aims, and how to reach them.
Yeah, exactly, Mr. Mohammed. Sorry to interrupt. And that was mainly the reason why I took the CELTA course. If you still remember the first day when I had the interview with you, you asked me this question, why you want to take CELTA. And I told you that I'm asking myself, after 10 years of experience, am I doing the same, or am I doing the right thing? Is it really an experience of 10 years of it's actually experience of 1 year multiplied by 10. It's experience of 1 year repeated 10 times. And that was the answer. That was the right answer. After finishing the course, I recognized and realized that that was the experience of 1 year multiplied by 10.
Yeah, I thank you, Haythem, for mentioning
And I still
that.
remember the first week I was.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I said I still remember the first week I was lost, I was scared, confused. A lot of things are happening at the same time. I didn't know what to do, and I was like, what I'm doing here. And by the second and the third week, things get better, and I feel natural. And gradually you get in the mood, and things become easier and natural. And I remember my first lesson plan. I know it looks horrible, but it was real. The first lesson plan took me 4 days, 4 days to prepare. And if I look back to my first lesson plan and the last one, I wasn't that person. I didn't write this. Wrote this. It wasn't me. Because
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Sophia, go ahead.
Recognize the huge.
You have a question, Sophia.
Yeah. You told me your first lesson took you 4 days. What exactly was the problem? Was it the canvas? Maybe it's a French word, I don't know. What was it?
No, it must be or should be written following a certain criteria, lesson plan, the lead in.
Yes, that's the point.
Yeah, assumptions, anticipating problems. What are the problems you may face, and you have to provide solutions for them. The lesson procedures, what are you going to do for each stage, and how long each stage lasts, and what are you going to do to ask ICQs, CCQs, and what's the point, what's the aim of this stage. It wasn't that easy, and you have assignments and TPs. You have to prepare your PowerPoint and I know. That wasn't it was horrible. That was at the beginning. I know.
Okay.
I was about to quit.
Right. So one of the really important skills is lesson planning. Heba, I think you want to add something there.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Actually, I agree with Haytham. I had the same experience too. Like the first TP and the last one, like it's like two different uh, people made these two lessons. And actually,
Yeah.
when you get there, it becomes you get it very naturally next, which means like your ICQs, CCQs, you don't need to think about it a lot. It becomes very natural.
And here you
Yeah.
notice the
Thank you,
impact
Heba. I
of
mean,
CELTA.
say that again, Haytham. Sorry.
I said, and here at the stage, you notice the impact of CELTA after you finish. The last TP.
Yeah. Yeah. So TP, for those of you who aren't
Yeah,
sure of the acronyms, that's teaching practice.
Yes,
And
actually, sorry, Mr. Oummih. Actually, I remember when my tutor told me that for the last TP, I have to write the whole lesson plan without any help. I was frustrated. I was thinking, how can I do that? But once I got there, it was easier because I've learned skills and I've learned during the course what I should do. So it was easier.
yeah, that's a good point. I mean, we don't ask you to write the same type of lesson plan at the beginning of the course as at the end. We scaffold, we support you, and we take away the support little by little until by the end of the course, you're planning your own lessons. And Heba was saying how things become natural by the end of the course. This is the result of the iterative process of teaching, being assessed, and getting feedback. By getting feedback on things that you yourself did, you integrate the lessons a lot more practically, and you actually implement what you are learning from feedback in the next teaching practices, usually. Not everything, right? That isn't perfect by the end of the course, but there are serious
Yes,
improvements.
and you get the chance, by
exactly.
the way, I mentioned this, you get the chance to observe your friends, or let's say your teacher, the other teachers teaching uh, uh, teacher with the other teachers in the course. You observe them and you learn from them, from their mistakes, and this is a good way uh, to observe and learn from them, and you give them feedback and you receive their feedback.
Right, absolutely. Thank you very much, Heba and Haytham. I'd like to open the floor to questions. You can
Mm.
use the chat if you like, if you want to ask questions of our CELTA graduates or myself. Please go ahead. Could you please shed light on some of the hurdles people face when taking the intensive format? So actually, neither Haytham nor Heba took the intensive format, but I've been training people on the CELTA course intensively for a very long time. I'm not sure what you mean by obstacle. The course is challenging because it's intensive. You have a lot of content, a lot of material to get through in a very short amount of time. It's not an obstacle, it's a challenge. Perhaps an obstacle would be you not being prepared for that kind of workload. And when we interview you, we explain exactly how much work you're going to have to do and that you're going to have to expect to do on the course. Othman, I'm not sure I answered your question. Was that what you were getting at? No follow-up from Othman. Does anyone else have a question they would like us to answer? So if you want to ask questions of our graduates, keep in mind that one of them started their business after taking the course online, and the other one, I mean, it's like a perfect scenario. One person who went independent, one person who stayed with his job and just got better and got promoted after taking the course. So if you have questions for them, please type them into the chat box, or you can take the floor, open your mic if you prefer. Hey, Sophia, yes,
Mr.
go ahead. Uh,
Yeah, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay,
Yes.
sorry, I'm not into technology. The CELTA is good for teaching overseas, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Haytham, you can say a little bit more about that, perhaps. So
but
perhaps that's not your question, Sophia. Go ahead.
okay, but apparently, it's only for some countries, right?
No,
I'm
no,
not sure. Go ahead, Haytham.
I'm not sure about that, but I strongly recommend CELTA course because it's a great investment if you want to move forward with your career, because
Yeah.
many employers here in the Middle East prioritize candidates with CELTA since it, you know, it demonstrates in CELTA.
Yeah. So
I didn't
it's
hear
not
the
that,
rest.
Sophia, it's not that it's not accepted in certain countries. It's an internationally accepted certificate. Employers who accept certificates, they will accept the CELTA because it is the most widely accepted one. In some countries, it's a requirement to have a CELTA to get a job
Okay.
as an English teacher. Not many, but in a few. And in almost all the countries, it is a preference amongst employers. Go ahead, Heba, please. Go ahead.
Yes, I just want to clarify also for my case, I work with a British school. It's based in the UK. And yes, thanks to the CELTA course and the CELTA certificates, I got accepted. Even though yeah, what I meant, like, it's accepted worldwide.
Thank you, Heba. I mean, yeah, that's a really good point. Let's face it. I'm not white. I mean, I'm not. I don't look.
Me
We
too.
don't look. Yeah, we don't
Exactly.
look.
We
We
don't
don't
look
look the right way,
white.
right?
Exactly.
And there is racism out there. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and there is a preference for this crazy native
It's
speaker thing.
discriminatory, let's say.
It is. It is. What the CELTA does is it evens the playing field.
Yeah.
When
Okay.
employers see that you have a CELTA, doesn't matter what country you're from, they know that you are being assessed on the same criteria that everyone else who's taking the CELTA. It's a
Okay.
guarantee of standardization.
All right.
The people who take a CELTA have a minimum guaranteed level of competence. And
Got
perhaps
it.
most importantly, they are intent on improving themselves professionally. They want to become better teachers. And that shows because they take the CELTA. And employers want people who invest in their own professional development. Oh, sorry, Sophia. Do you have another question?
Because actually,
That's
for
why,
me,
by the way, Mr. Mohammed.
it's a change of career because I just abandoned my studies, my English studies, and I went from teaching English to marketing. And suddenly I was just like, okay, I'll go back to the source and I'll go back to maybe I'll take the TESOL, as we say, or the CELTA. And I never knew about the CELTA actually. So when I found out, for me, the TESOL and the CELTA doesn't even exist in Morocco. So yeah, so for me, it was like, okay, I need to come back to Canada. I need to do this and I need to do that in order, to maybe teach or to maybe travel or whatsoever. So for me, it's just a change of career, and I don't know, it's a poker game.
We have a question from Amin Ramadan Mubarak. The post-CELTA experience, how can one find such opportunities? Is it through networking or is there some online platforms where you apply? I'll give a first answer to that question, and then if Haytham or Heba want to chip in, they can. Finding work is a job. It is not something that, like, there's no magic formula. It's a combination of networking, and here I'll say something for our own network. Once you take the CELTA course with us, you join our CELTA alumni WhatsApp group. There are over 120 former candidates in that group, and we regularly post job opportunities and professional opportunities for each other. So that's one aspect of the answer. There are online platforms where you can apply to work, Reply and stuff like that. And you can get through those. You can make a living. It's not easy. Um, or you can start your own business like Heba did. And there's actually a question from Ihsan about this. Could you please share tips for starting an online teaching business? Heba, would you mind if you have any tips, sharing them with Ihsan?
Yes, sure. Actually, with what we have today is like we are very lucky because starting an online business it's easier than when it was before. So I think that having a strong basis when it comes to social media and sharing like parts of your lessons, video recordings, trying to invite customers to come and try your lessons, like trial lessons for free. Also, you can use materials that are engaging and also use Instagram ads, Google ads, maybe some collaborations with some YouTubers or influencers. All of these things work to blow your business. And yes, and you have to be aware that you are delivering an experience to these students. So try to make the experience good. Like if you are trying it for yourself, like you want it to be good too. So try to make it good for them too. Yes.
Thanks, Heba. That's a really good answer. I appreciate it. Starting your own business online. There are people there are people who can't really teach very well, who are making lots of money teaching online because teaching is only part of the mix. It's the marketing, man. You can sell yourself, you got to make money. That said, if you're not great in marketing, but you're okay and you can teach, then you've got something going for you. I skipped a question from Khalid. He asked, will the next course be held in McNass? The next face-to-face course will be in Casablanca from the 30th of June to the 25th of July. And then after that, we'll have our August course in McNass. And then Abdul Karim also asked a question, how does CELTA observation work with CELTA Online? Observing classes, getting your classes observed if applicable. So we use Zoom, which is a platform we're using now. With Zoom, you can share your screen, so you can share lesson materials with students. You can send them materials through the chat. You can write to them through the chat. You can have a whiteboard that you can type on. You can put them into breakout rooms when you want them to work together in pairs or in groups. It emulates in a lot of ways a real classroom. So when you teach online, you have 45 minutes to teach your lesson on our course. You teach 8 times assessed. And while you're teaching your students, your trainer and your colleagues, the other people who are taking the course with you, have their cameras and their microphones off, and they're just watching you like this. And I'm typing my notes. Oh, this is good. Oh, what did you do? Oh. Sure thing, Abdul Karim. Any other questions?
Uh, I want to add something concerning like
Yes.
observations and so on. It's very, very good because it helps you to elaborate and to develop your techniques. Your classmates can watch you and give you tips, and you can work as a group. Also, we used to do that. We used to have like our meeting before the session, and we used to share our screens, check our materials, give tips. How can you do that? How can you teach this part? And it's very good to share the same goal and the same struggles, the same challenges with other people that are trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, thank you so much for mentioning that, Heba. The CELTA, you're assessed individually for your work, right? But you still work as a team to prepare your lessons. Very often, this is what's really great about the CELTA. you get exposed to teachers, you get to plan together, and this does not happen very often once you are in the staff room. Teachers go into their jobs, they plan by themselves, or they plan at home by themselves. You don't have the opportunity to see other people teach or to have them see you teach. It's a solitary profession, and professional development opportunities like the CELTA and other courses like this allow you to open up and to accept other teachers into your teaching practice. So thank you for mentioning that, Heba. We have a question from Ihsan. What do we need to do before the CELTA in order to make it easier? Steroids, vitamin C? No, I'm kidding. The best thing to do is to pay for the course early if you know you're going to take it, because then we give you access to our online library and we give you a reading list. And the reading list is really useful. There are a couple of texts that are kind of like roadmaps for the CELTA. What we train you on the CELTA is what's in those books. Other than that, you don't need to bring anything to the table, really. If you want to learn more, contact me. I'll give you the names of these books. Maybe you can get them on your own without going through our library. The CELTA is designed for people who are practicing teachers and people who've never taught before. Go ahead, Heba.
Actually, concerning the CELTA library, I still use it till now, and it's been like now 2 years or almost 2 years, and I still have access, which is like very nice. And there are like lots of books that helps you learn new skills and new techniques, and also materials that you can use in your classrooms, adapted to all levels of English, all types of students, which is like pretty good. And it's updated from time to time, so which is very nice.
Thank you, Heba. Yeah, I feel very strongly about that myself. I believe in sharing with everybody. I love to share. And so when you come onto the course, we give you access to our library, which is huge. And we don't take it away ever. As long as our company exists, you have access to our CELTA library.
Please, Mr. Mohammed, I lost the access to the library. Could you please share it
no.
with me?
I'll send you the link, Haythem, on WhatsApp, okay?
Okay, thank you, Mr.
All right, no problem. There's another question here from Sophia. Oh no, from Abdul Karim. Abdul Karim, I went to BMLL a long time ago for a conference. I don't remember your name, but it's nice to see you again. Well, it's nice for you to see me again. I can't see you. We're not going to run a CELTA in BMLL anytime soon, but, and this is for everybody, if you get together 4 CELTA candidates at least, if you have 4 people in your city who want to take the CELTA, we will bring it to your city. We'll bring a mixed mode course to your city if you have the minimum number of candidates available, including BMLL. Sophia, you asked, does the teaching skills used by teachers in high school or primary schools be effective in order to prepare myself for CELTA? Yes and no, Sophia. I think Haythem can testify to this. It's not, sometimes having previous experience is not an advantage. Right, Haythem? You have to unlearn.
Yeah, I had 10 years of experience and it does not work. Only after I finished this, because as I told you before, it was just experience of 1 year multiplied by 10. That's it. That's the answer.
Yeah.
And you can apply this.
What happens a lot is that, the people who sometimes struggle a lot in the CELTA are the ones who've got these habits year after year of doing the same kinds of things, that when they come onto the course, we let them know, no, actually, there are better ways to do it, and they have to break old habits. That said, there are advantages that practicing teachers have. For example, the fact that you're not shy, and that you have encountered students of various levels, and that you are more familiar with the language. So it really depends. Othman has another question. This question is for CELTA graduates. What would you say is the most valuable lesson you learned after completing your CELTA, and how did it mold your teaching? So is it a question about after they completed the CELTA, or while doing the CELTA? Which are you asking about? After, right. So in your careers, actually, Haytham and Heba, what can you say about that?
I developed a deeper understanding of the language teaching and learning strategies. I stopped repeating myself. And
You did.
That was
I
your remark.
remember that.
Stop echoing, stop repeating yourself. And now I'm fully aware of how to use ICQs, CCQs, error correction, when and where to. Sometimes you have to stop the students and correct them immediately, and sometimes you have to delay it to the end until they finish, so they won't feel discouraged. In terms of stress and time management, anticipating problems and errors and provide solutions for them immediately. I remember when Asma had a problem with her laptop, she instantly used her phone. I still remember that day. It was horrible for her, but she found the solution. And this is one benefit. If you take CELTA courses English for Africa, you always have the solution in your pocket.
Cool, cool. Heba, do you want to say anything to that question?
Actually, what the most valuable lesson I've learned is how to manage a classroom correctly, like how to create an engaging and comfortable atmosphere for my students, how to understand their needs and their goals, also how to adapt or redesign materials. Sometimes you have a course book and you need more activities, for example, like the pre-teaching, the lead-in, and so on. So with the CELTA, you learn what's good and how to choose the instructions, how to ask ICQs, and this helps you to create what we call a teaching method, your own teaching method. Like you learn how to react to different course books. Like you don't have a problem, any course book you can work with, and you can adapt it to specific students according to their needs.
Thank you, Heba, for that. One of the things that people worry about when they take the CELTA course is that it is standardized, and that you have to do things a certain way. We think the right way. And this is a concern for me because I'm a very spontaneous person. I like structure, but I can be quite spontaneous. And one of the things that I try to do in our course is not limit our candidates' freedom and creativity. And so, as Heba said, on the CELTA course, you learn how to adapt yourself to different contexts and use different materials. And you find your own teaching methodology, teaching voice, and we don't try to tamp that voice down. We try to help you express your own personality, your own approach to teaching, using techniques and tricks that we know work. Are there any other questions, guys? Here we go. Hassan, does the CELTA focus on how to teach general English only, or do we get to teach business English? I'm going to answer that question, guys, if it's okay with you. On the CELTA, you teach real students. The students you teach are adults. Some of them are business people, some of them are not. We don't help you to teach business English specifically. However, in input, we teach you a little bit about what business English is, also how to teach young learners, academic English, etc. The teaching practice is general English. But you'll find that to a very large degree, when you know how to plan a lesson and how to manage a classroom, it's like Heba said, you can then take any materials basically and adapt them to that method and teach whoever you want to teach. I hope that was clear.
Actually, I want to add something.
Please.
When I took the CELTA course, as you said, during the teaching practices, we teach adults. But after that, I was like in a situation that I need to teach, I have to teach kids. I've never taught kids. So, but with what I have, the background that I have, I took the materials that are in the library again, and I adapted them to kids' needs and fun activities and so on. And it was very easy for me to do it than it was before. So, yes, so when you take the CELTA course, you're able to teach all other purposes like general English, business English, medical English, maybe, but you need a medical background, of course. Kids, adults, teenagers, you can teach like any age groups or, yeah, other lessons. Yes.
That's great. Guys, honestly, my business is to run CELTA courses, and I'm always impressed by how successful they are, you know? I can't make this stuff up. It's our candidates who come back and tell us, look what we can do now. It's so impressive. Guys, you are great. Heba, you're great. Haytham, you're wonderful. It's fantastic. Do we have any other questions? Yes, we do. So PC Gamer, hello, Mr. Gamer. You just joined. Which one is the best investment, TESOL or CELTA, to start teaching internationally? If you're providing certificates when you look, right? So I'm happy you asked this question, Mr. Gamer.
Well,
it's a source of a great deal of confusion. What is the difference between TESOL and TEFL and CELTA? TESOL, teaching English to speakers of other languages, is everybody that you might teach English to, right? All contexts are TESOL. TEFL is teaching English as a foreign language. That's when you teach English in countries where English is not the most common language, right? So it's everywhere except places where they speak English. North America, Australia, the UK, etc. There are hundreds of certificates that are TESOL and TEFL certificates. The CELTA is a TESOL or CELTA certificate or TEFL certificate. So the CELTA is actually both. We usually consider it to be a TEFL certificate, but the fact is that people who take the CELTA often teach in TESOL contexts as well. So in other words, also in countries where they speak English and where the language of communication is English. So the CELTA, it is possibly the best course in the world, best initial qualification teaching English. There are other very good courses out there. For example, I was a Trinity trainer, Cert TESOL. I learned how to train on that course, and it's an excellent course as well. It just so happens that Trinity and Cambridge worked together, actually, when they set up their courses. They're both level 5, and they both are very similar to each other. There are differences. What's great about these courses is the teaching practice and the feedback. So if you want to launch an international career, the CELTA or the Cert TESOL is the way to go. And the CELTA even more because the Cambridge brand is even more recognized than the Trinity brand. And when you launch the program, yeah, you get the CELTA certificate. So the CELTA certificate is a certificate which is printed in Cambridge. And fun fact, it takes them 6 weeks to print it. After you finish the course, it's such a, the security is so high, it takes them 6 weeks to produce a certificate before they send it to you. And that's the certificate that we give to our candidates after the course.
Certificate.
Sorry, Haytham?
I said I immediately got my TEFL certificate after I finished the course. That's why some schools or let's say organizations don't consider them. I got TEFL and both TEFL and TESOL, but what's special about CELTA, that CELTA gives you both theoretical and practical knowledge. With TESOL and TEFL, we didn't have teach and practice. You only get theoretical knowledge and then quizzes. That's it. and you get the certificate once you finish the course immediately.
Right. Right. So with TEFL, I mean,
That's
it's a
why they
little
are
bit
not
like,
recognized. CELTA is the most widely recognized worldwide. It's a brand.
right, right. Thank you, Haytham. That's correct. Ihsan wants to know what's the difference between CELTA and Delta. CELTA is a certificate level course. The level of content, the difficulty of the content is equivalent to what you would encounter when you're doing a bachelor's. The Delta is a diploma level course. The level of difficulty is equivalent to that on a master's course. CELTA is a level 5 off-qual certificate. The Delta is a level 7. In practical terms, the CELTA is what you do first. The Delta is what you do later. It is, believe it or not, even more difficult and horribly difficult than the CELTA. And we offer the Delta. Oh, by the way, you guys are going to be the first ones to know this. We now offer all 3 modules of the Delta, module 1, 2, and 3. We got authorization for module 2 today. That's the teaching practice module. So
what about module 3, Mr. Mohammed?
What about module 3? Sorry.
Yeah, how long it lasts?
So we run module 3 over 3 months. Thank you for the congratulations, Ihsan. It's a 3-month course, and you can submit in June or in December, only twice a year. Yeah, I'm really happy about that. It's cheerful, very nice.
Is it difficult or
Okay.
not?
Sorry?
Is it difficult or not?
The Delta. Oh, yeah.
Module
yeah.
3.
Module 3 is difficult.
I'm talking about
too.
module 3.
They're all difficult. The big difference between the CELTA and the Delta is also the fail rate, which is very low on a CELTA. On the Delta, even though we have a screening process, it's so demanding that a lot of people don't pass the first time around. How long is the CELTA program? It depends. You weren't here for this part of the presentation. That's my fault. Sorry about that. If you take the fully online course, it's an 11-week course, part-time. You can study and work while taking the course. If you take the course face-to-face, it's a 4-week intensive course. You cannot do anything except eat, drink, sleep, and CELTA. That's it. And then by the end of the course, you're eating, drinking, and sleeping CELTA. That's what they tell me anyway. Rita, hi. Thank you for sharing your experience. Thanks for talking about being spontaneous as a teacher. I was worried that because I can be very spontaneous in my teaching without forgetting the course. I can't wait to meet you, Mr. Oummih, on the upcoming online course. Rita, are you taking the upcoming online course with us?
Hi, hello. Yes, yes,
hi.
of course. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, so look, spontaneity is important. You have to be able to react to your students.
Yes.
If you don't have an authentic communication with your students, the trust level is going to go down, but also your ability to communicate effectively with them is going to go down. For a very long time, I believe that the single most important skill a teacher could have is the ability to listen to their students. Because by listening to your students, you know who they are, and then you're going to know how to teach them. Being spontaneous is a part of that, because listening and reacting, that's what we do when we're spontaneous, right?
Yes, of course. I was worried about that, and thank you for talking about it.
Sure. Next questions.
Okay, can I say something? I have something to share.
Yeah.
I never related very much to what Haytham said about repeating himself. He was repeating himself for 10 years. That's very much true. That's the whole reason why I decided to take the CELTA course. Because for me, for the last 4 or 5 years, right now, I feel like I'm teaching the same thing and teaching with the same methods and approaches, which is not good for me. That's the whole point for me, or the whole purpose for me to actually take the CELTA course. And if you can remember, Mr. Oummih, we had a meeting with you, me and Siham, 1 month ago.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
We're finalizing our forms,
Excellent.
and the pre-task interviews, and we're planning to do so to send it tomorrow or Monday at the earliest.
So,
Later.
Rita, I remember you now. You're in that very, very impressive place we call Ben Greer. Is that it?
The American School of
Yeah, Ben Greer at the American School in Ben Greer. Yeah, teaching, doing the same thing year in, year out. It's a common problem when you're a teacher because, the first couple of years, you work overtime to get together a store of lesson materials, and then you don't want to work on doing that again because it was so tough. So you just use them every year. It's a trap. And it kind of kills spontaneity a little bit, doesn't it? And so taking courses like this is a way of breaking out of that trap. Definitely.
Yes, that's the whole purpose. Thank you very much.
Cheers, of course. Hafsa says, does the online course have the same value as the face-to-face? So I'm not sure what you mean by value. If you mean on the job market, potentially, yes, and I'll explain. The certificate itself does not mention how you took the course. There is no mention of online or face-to-face or anything like that on the certificate. So when an employer says, send me your certificate, you send it to them, the employer might have a prejudice against online courses. And then when you get to the interview, they'll say, do you take the course online or not? Then you're going to have to deal with it and convince them that, yeah, online, but still I can teach. In terms of skills that you acquire, so in terms of that kind of value, they're very similar. And I know this because the candidates who've taken the course with us say the same thing about the course and about their experience after the course, whether they took it online or face-to-face. They say it was transformative. They say, I don't teach the same anymore. So these are people who are teaching face-to-face while taking the course online. And they're implementing what they're learning online in their face-to-face context. So I hope I answered your question, Hafsa. Any other questions? Okay. Wow. This went on for an hour. That's very impressive. I thought we'd be done within 15 or 20 minutes, but you guys had lots of really great questions. And I can't thank you enough, Haythem and Heba, for being here and sharing your experience. There's nothing like getting information from the horse's mouth. You guys took the course, and you're great. You're not exceptional. Other people who took the course, it's the same for them, but that just means that it's a good course, really. You're great, though, and thank you so much for being here, to both of you. I kind of owe you. It's really nice. You kind of feel, this makes me feel good.
Thank you, Mr. Mohammed.
Because I know that I'm doing an okay job because these people who took the course with me years ago, they're here to support us and to let everyone know that it went well. Thank you, guys. It warms my heart.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Mohammed, for your support and help throughout the course.
You're welcome, and you're welcome to Sophia. Look, I'm going into the chat box. I'm going to type my email address. If you want to contact me for more information, and my WhatsApp number as well. And we have a website, Mr. Gamer, or should I call you PC? EnglishForAfrica.net. You're welcome, Osman. Pleasure. Oops, I'm typing everything directly to Heba, I think. I shouldn't type that to Heba. Sorry. So I'm typing this to everyone. That's my telephone number. And this is the website URL, EnglishForAfrica.net. and my email address as well. Okay, guys, wonderful to speak to you. Have a great evening. Happy Ramadan to everybody. Oh, Uthman, very quick answer to that question. We're running our course on the premises of British Workshop in Casablanca. British Workshop. I'll type it. You're welcome. Bye, everyone. Thank you for coming. Bye-bye.